Hey guys, this is KMC. We're on a final part of Bucky now. We're going to build a frame for our cabin. So I'm going to place a gold block on a corner, on the back, on both corners. And then we're going to do two jungle wood, sorry. So we're going to copy the outline, and then we're going to place 7 across the line that's already there, and then back in for the 2. Then we're going to place a jungle wood on top of our gold blocks. The gold blocks we've only just placed. And then we're going to build a gold on the back of it, and doing the same on the other side. Then we're going to build across with four blocks, 3 actually, sorry. And then we're going to go across with 5 glass panes. And we're going to repeat this for the second layer. And then on this one we're going to come across with the 4 blocks. So 1 overlapping the glass on each side. And then we're going to put 3 glass panes in the middle. And then we're just going to go over the top all the way across with jungle wood. And then fill in our outline with the gold blocks coming up and over the top. And that is now our back frame complete. So I'm going to make my way down, and then I'm going to come for the 3rd block coming up, and I'm going to place 2 gold blocks. I'm going to place jungle wood all the way across the bottom layer. I'm going to place another jungle wood right where I've placed the gold block, so I can place 1 on top, and I'm going to make that 4 blocks high. And I'm going to drag it across to our other back frame. That is now our frame complete. So we'll do 2 rows of jungle wood here, filling in the back, and then we're going to do a row of 3 glass panes, and we're going to make that 3 high. Glass panes do not want to work with me at the moment, so we do our 3rd layer. I'm going to place jungle wood next to that, and then we're going to repeat the process on the other side, 3 glass panes on the other side, and just fill in the gap. And we'll do 2 rows, and then a row of 3 glass panes, 1 on top of the other, 3 high again, and we're just going to fill in the gaps with our jungle wood, and that is our side frame. So using our light blue wool, we're going to just place 1 on each end of the glass, filling in with the white in the middle, and then I'm just going to use a jungle slab just to make a windowsill outside the windows. So we're going to go around the other side and repeat the process. So we're going to come down to our 3rd block down. I'm going to place 2, and then we're going to place a row of jungle wood, and then we're going to place another jungle wood, and then we're going to place a gold block on top of the jungle wood going 4 high, and then we're going to just drag it across. So we're going to do 2 rows, so we'll fill in this row and then this row, jungle wood, and then repeating the process we're going to do a row of 3 rows high, and then we're just going to fill in next to it and around it with our jungle wood. Just going to drag this across. I'm going to repeat the process here, so 3 glass panes long and 3 high. Seriously, I hate glass panes. So we're going to do that 3 high, and then we're just going to fill in the rest with our jungle wood. Now I do forget to do my my light blue wool here, so I'm going to jump onto the inside and do my birch wood, and I'm just going to fill all the way across to our gold outline. Now as we come to the end, we're going to add 2 gold blocks onto either side. And then we're going to drag it across another 3. I've only done 3 blocks on each side, but it's actually, you want to make that row 4, including the one on the end. And then we're going to fill it in with our birch planks, including the gap in between the gold blocks. So then we can build 5 gold blocks onto the end of the birch planks. Now, taking our jungle wood, we're going to jump underneath. I'm going to come literally up to the first edge on the bottom, and we're just going to drag it all the way down, making sure we leave the middle 3 spaces empty on the bottom, which will be 3 in length and 3 in height. So as long as you've got that gap, it'll be completely fine. So I think it'll be a row of 4 on each side, leaving a gap of 3 in the middle. Yeah, so 4 blocks in length on either side with the jungle wood, and then go in 4 on the 4th height. We're going to build across, leaving a gap of 3 in the middle, 3 in height and 3 lengthways. And that is there for our gold frame for our door. So we'll fill around the outline with our gold block, and then we can just put a door in the middle. I'm going to come too high. Okay, I do it 3rd on there, it doesn't matter if it's 2 or 3. And we're just going to put a glowstone straight in the middle, just really because there is something there on the ship. I'm not sure exactly what it is. And then we're just going to place a door in the middle. Now I'm going to go inside, and I'm just going to layer the windows just across the tops with glowstone. And the reason being is because it actually looks so much better when it goes dark. So there you have it, guys, that is our cabin. Now guys, we're going to jump onto the backboard, which will be spruce wood and jungle wood. So we're going to place the spruce wood right in the corner of our birch, and we're going to do that on both sides, and then we're going to have a layer of jungle wood in between, being 9 long, and we're going to do the same for the next layer. Ignore what I've just done there. We're going to place it straight on top, exactly the same as our last layer. And now on the next layer we're going to step 1 in, and we're going to place 7 jungle woods and place a birch on the end. And on this one we're going to place, stepping in, we're going to use 2 spruce woods and then a space of 3 jungle woods, and then we're going to put 3 spruce woods on top of the jungle wood. So where the 3 are showing, we're just going to put 3 on top. Now we're going to put an upside down stairs in the middle, and then a slab and a slab on top of that one. Using a block, we're going to put it onto the bottom one, and then we're going to come underneath it, put a netherrack fence, and then just a glowstone underneath. Now as we come across, we're going to leave a gap of 1 in between every fence post, and we're going to do that all the way down for 5. So a space between the backboard, fence, and then space in between every single one for 5. And I'm just marking that just so I remember to put some stairs in afterwards. And then with our spruce slab, we're just going to drag it along to our last fence post. So all the way across the top, from first one to the last one. And I'm just going to mark off that I need to put the slide in. One away from the edge, we're going to use the middle 3, so our fence post on either side, and then stepping out either side of it, we're going to put one again. 2 light blues in the middle with a trapdoor in the middle, just to give it a wheel look, and then a spruce slab across the 3 in the front, and then 1 on either side as you step out. And that is our top part done. So we're going to step down to the middle, we're going to place 1 in the middle of the front, and then stepping out we're going to put 1 on either side as we come down, and then onto our next layer. So it would be onto our 3 blocks, and we place a Neverland fence on either side, and we're just going to drag it all the way back, stepping onto our next one, dragging it back 1, and on this one on the front I'm just going to drag it all the way across all 3, and then stepping back, and then onto our last ones. And there you have it. We're going to jump onto our mast, so we're going to leave a gap of 1 from the middle step in the middle. So we leave a gap of 1, and then we're going to place 12 spruce woods going high. And now we're going to grab our spruce planks, place 1 on top, and we're going to drag it out 3 to each side. And then on both sides where we've done the 3, I'm going to leave a gap in the middle just to put a trapdoor, and then we're going to grab it from the 1 on the inside to 1 on the inside at the other end, and then 3. And we're going to repeat the process on the other side, so it'll be 5 in the middle, and then 3 in the middle of them. And then we're going to use our Neverland fence. I'm just going to chuck my trapdoor in. Oh, wait a minute, I'm going to place my extra 4 spruce logs and a slab on top. And now I'm just going to place my Neverland fence, 1 on each corner, and dragging it back, leaving the space in between the part where there's 2 spaces. And do the same here, and place it obviously where you had it on the last one. And then we're going to place a spruce plank next to it on both sides. Then we're just going to use our spruce wood slabs to then place 1 on each side, dragging the 3 across on the front and the back. Now we're going to come down to our mast, we're going to go 4 up, so count the 4th one up, place a spruce log in the middle of the front, and then we're going to drag it out for 6. I was trying to get it to 10 but I couldn't, so we're just going to drag it out for 6 on either side, making the row 13 in total. Cut away the middle one so it turns sideways and drag it back out for 6 on that side. And then we're going to count another 4 up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Placing 1 in the middle and dragging it out for 6 again. And repeating the process, knocking away at 1 in the middle and dragging it out for 6 on the other side. And then counting up 3, which will take you next to the mast. I'm going to place 1 and drag it out for 4. On both sides. And then we're going to grab our light blue wool, and on the very outside of both lines we're just going to place light blue wool, missing a gap every time. Until we meet the outside, which will be light blue again. Drop down and do the same with the 6s. So missing a gap every time. I'm going to place these ones, and then I'm going to leave a gap of 3. And now we're going to get our white wool and the yellow wool. So we're going to place our white wool in the gaps, apart from on the next one we're going to place our yellow wall for 3 rows. And jumping back to our white, we're just going to fill in between all the gaps of our blue. And that is pretty much our mask complete. I'm just going to drag some stairs up to our upper deck, which I'm going to place right on the right hand side here. We're going to drag it all the way down, leaving the top gap just purely for the trapdoor. Now I'm going to place back in my birchwood and then a trapdoor. Now I'm just going to knock away the 2 on the outside and the 1 in the middle. This is just to make room for our slide. So with our red clay, we're just going to place 1 on the inside and then 2 on the outside. Now we're going to drag it down for 2. Now on the outside one, we're going to drag it down 2. And then we're going to have to place 1, pull it out and knock away the last one. And we're going to do that for 2. So now we're going to drag it down, pull it down, still doing the same effect, keep knocking it away, and now we're going to start turning it around. Right guys, as long as you're knocking away them edges, basically we're just building off. I always keep the edges there just to keep the shape of a slide and knock away last builds at the sides. I do build 2 sides up from every time you step down. Reason being is because otherwise you step off the side of the slide. And that is done. So run to our mast. We're just going to do a layer all the way around of birchwood, and then we're going to do some birch steps all the way around on the top. And we're just going to place some ladders going all the way up to our trapdoor. Just making sure I've got my trapdoor around the right way. Guys, I forgot to do this earlier, so I just come back and chucking in my last ones. As long as your light blues are on the outside, you just want to put the whites in the middle. I just use my jungle slab just for windowsills. Moving on to the cannon, we're going to use a dispenser as the end and chiseled stone for the actual cannon itself. So we're just going to place 2 chiseled stone in the very middle and then a dispenser on the end. I did wonder whether to drag it out for a bit longer, but that's how it ended up staying. Now guys, I've just placed a stair at the bottom of the mast, facing up towards our ladder, because it's when you're not in creator mode. On the back of our board, I've just placed a slab on the bottom, and then I'm going to place 3 blocks straight underneath. And heading down to the bottom, we're going to place a spruce slab on the top of the block at the very bottom, coming 3 out, and then facing up to the next row up, we're going to come 3 out, and then just place 2 on top to make our ore. And then coming around to the front, we're going to place a slab right up to the top, coming out from underneath the cannon. And the reason I placed the next one is because I needed it to come out, and then 1 on either side just to make our front. Now for our final part, guys, we're just going to grab our white wool again, and we're just going to make the flag on top of the mast. So we're going to do the top piece, drag it out for 3, and then we're going to grab a skull decoration, place it in the middle on both sides, and then on the other side we're just going to place 3 netherrack fences side by side, just to create the stand that the parrot would stand on. And that is Bucky complete. So I hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe, and I shall catch you very shortly with our next build.